this computer. Hello, everyone. So today I am with Lily. I asked her before if how to pronounce her last name, but she told me it can't be done. So I'm gonna give her the mic to help us pronounce her last name. So go ahead, Lily.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lily Ugbaja. Ugbaja.
Right. So she's a content marketer. She worked with companies like Animals, Foundation Marketing, Databox. She has a very strong data orientation in her articles. If you read her articles, you'll find numbers all over the place. And she's also a blogger, and she has a blog where she teaches, where she helps moms earn income through blogging. So yeah, Lily, it's an absolute pleasure to be talking to you.
Thanks for inviting me, Hashem.
It's my pleasure. So, so the format we're gonna do now is I'm gonna ask you questions that all of my guests would have. It's the standard questions that people are asked. I'll see you've already seen them, those. Let's see where that takes us. And after that, I'll ask you some questions that I sent you, they were custom made for you, that you've seen. And then finally, I will ask you questions that you haven't seen. And finally, you get to ask me a question. So let's get going. So the first question is, if you had 10 topics you want to write about, what would you do to prioritize between them or choose between them?
So if I had 10 topics on a single blog, or like just 10 topics I was interested in writing?
Let's do both. Let's first do with the single blog, and then let's general interest. The reason I'm asking this is because, you know, I'm assuming I'm not alone in this, but I have too many ideas that I cannot, you know, practically write about all of them. So it would be good to have a way to kind of like prioritize between them or choose between them. So yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's first.
So I think I can answer both at the same time with this clarification that I've gotten. I always prioritize conversion-based posts, like bottom-up funnel posts. So if I had 10 ideas and one of them was to answer questions that readers often have, qualified users often have, and one of them was something that I was really interested in that would drive a ton of traffic. Honestly, I would prioritize writing the one that answers questions that my qualified readers already have. So the focus would be on conversion more than traffic, if that makes sense.
Right. And
so
go ahead.
Once all the conversion-based posts are laid down, then I can focus on writing the other ones that bring in traffic. Because if you're bringing in traffic and you're not converting it, that's like pouring water through a funnel where like there's nothing under the funnel. You're just pouring water through the funnel.
Right. And how would you know what questions do people have? Or is it through keyword research, or do you have any, what's your strategy in terms of that?
Okay, there's keyword research, of course, but it's not like the full picture. I always say that most companies, most businesses sit on the data they have, and they go out there looking for data. So I think the best way to figure that out is to look through your CRMs, your whatever, maybe you talk to the sales team. Obviously, I don't have a sales team. I'm the sales team for my business.
Right.
Like, so those questions that people who have converted, the ones they send you via emails, the ones they leave as comments, the ones that raise support queries. Those are the things I would prioritize. And if there is a particular one of them that has more keyword volume, then perfect. That one goes first.
How about the mom who wants to start a new business? I'm assuming that she wouldn't have access, like she wouldn't have a CRM, she wouldn't have all of these stuff.
Yeah.
What would you advise her then?
So there's keyword research, like we said, and there's also forums. Like there's a lot of gold mine in forums. I'm sorry. Like you could literally go into Facebook groups or Quora, Reddit, and find lots of like information about what your readers truly want to read. So it's not just what's out there on Google.
Right. So again, I'm aware of this strategy, because again, you'll have multiple questions in the same forum and in different forums. So how do you prioritize between those questions?
So when you have all those questions, when I have all those questions, and they're all like really strong questions that can bring conversions, what I do is I prioritize the one that has higher search volume and lower competition.
Right.
If it's something that's really important and it has high competition, I would still go for it and then build a topic cluster around it to try and rank better for it.
Sure. Okay. Alrighty. For the next question is, have you looked for something that you couldn't find? And I know this is a very general question, but I just wanted to kind of like reflect on your life, on your career, or even if it's something super specific, like I was looking for an app and I couldn't find it. But tell me, have you looked for something and you couldn't find it?
And many times when I've looked for things that I couldn't find, especially as a content marketer. So I actually want to learn programming because of this. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. I actually want to learn like to code stuff because of this. There's sometimes when you just want a solution and nothing is out there and you're like, how do I get this? How do I put this together and automate this? Because I love automating things. I love outsourcing to technology and to people. Definitely, so many times.
Okay. So this is my favorite question, perhaps, which is, what are some hidden gems that you discovered in your life? So hidden gems, any items, again, very broad, any items, people, websites, tools, anything that you, once you encountered, your reaction was like, oh my God, I am surprised that not more people know about this, or oh my God, like this is amazing. This should be, this should be all over the place, but it isn't for some reason.
Yeah. I would say in what just came to mind right now is the hidden gem I found in SEO. I don't know how much of a hidden gem he is, but Glenn Alsop is like the best there is in SEO. I don't know if you've heard of this SEO blueprint. The course is like amazing. There's so many things in it that you can't find out there. And these are tactics that actually work. Sometimes I don't even want to tell people about it. Like I want to keep this to myself.
Right. So Glenn Olson, is he? Is it
Also, no. Also, I'm not sure how to say it right. He's from his Gaps. I think Gaps was his first. No, Viper Chill was his first.
Glenn Olson, okay. Detail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's very interesting that you chose someone from the world of SEO, because like by definition, not by definition, but SEO, it's about visibility. Yet he himself is not, for you, it's not as visible as he should have been. So why do you think that is the case?
He's so busy. Like if you're in the Facebook group, you will see that Glenn he has so much client work. And I mean, I found him first through SEO when he was still running Viper Chill. He doesn't invest as much in his brand anymore. He's like a ghost on social media right now. Like
Right.
And then SEO, he hardly ever publishes, but when he does, maybe like once in a month or once in a quarter, it's amazing. Like it's really worth it. He's not just putting out content for the sake of putting out content. And I know he has worked with some of the biggest sites in. Just trying to see what's available in detail. And people know him actually. It's just maybe the newer people who are newer in SEO may not have heard about him that much, but some of the OGs, they know him.
Yeah. There's an expression called writer's writer or actor's actor.
What?
There's an expression that is called a writer's writer or an actor's actor, who's somebody who's like known within the elite but not known to the masses. So he could be, he's an SEO's SEO. Right. So give me, I'm curious, give me like one tip that he gives or something that kind of like really resonated with you or like really helped.
There's so many. What do I pick? Okay, so there's this concept he recently shared about, he calls it super pixels. It's about the intersection of UX and SEO, like how you can win users just by having a beautifully designed site. If you look at all of Glenn's sites, they're like really beautiful. They give you an instant impression once you land on those sites. So I think that's the most like obvious tip. I don't want to give any of his secrets away. So.
Right. Okay, sure. Okay, so tell me about, we were talking about, before the talk, we're talking about my kind of journey into marketing and how I like the idea of, in business, what I discovered is the idea of partnerships. I loved it, that, I have something that is, I have something that you need and you need something that then you have something that I need. It's the whole 1 + 1 = 3 type thing. So in your career, what kind of partnerships that were kind of like really, really great for you?
So, in this field, there's like lots of benefits to partnership, as you can tell. So I'm a blogger and a content marketer. In the blogging niche, like you are never an island. You need links from other blogs. You need to give links to other blogs. You need to sell affiliate products of other bloggers, and you need them to help push your own products as affiliates too. All these partnerships are like really beneficial. And as content marketers, let's say freelancers, for example, sometimes when I'm overloaded with work, I refer work to other freelancers. And sometimes when they have a client who's going to be like a good fit for me, they send them my way. So it's not really a competition, it's more like partnerships. Even in-house content marketing, most times there's like an opportunity where you want to feature another business in your article. That partnership between you and them is like mutually beneficial. It's I would say content marketing is founded on partnerships.
Alrighty. So tell me about something you changed your mind about.
I'm sorry, you said?
Tell me about something you changed your mind about.
I changed my mind about. So I was telling you this earlier, but like I really had a phobia for the word marketing. Like I grew up, I would see marketers and they would carry sweaty, they would be dressed so smart in the hot sun with ties and all that. And and they would try to convince people to buy stuff or to like maybe sign up for stuff, even when they didn't really need it. Like the people they were trying to convince didn't need it. There was like no focus on the user's needs. It felt very spammy. So I kind of like whenever I heard the word marketing, then came network marketing, and the way some network marketers and multi-level marketers tend to go about business also. Like they're always hunting you to buy their stuff, to join their network, even when you said no. So I totally did not want to go into the marketing field. But when I started blogging, I discovered content marketing through blogging. So when I started blogging, I found that you could actually help people and then have them thank you for helping them while they're buying whatever it is you're selling. Like you could actually change lives through marketing. You're helping companies and you're helping people at the same time. That's like really awesome. So blogging changed my mind about marketing.
Yeah, I found this fascinating because I had a similar kind of change of perception towards the world of business. I thought it's all about kind of like being cutthroat, and I just didn't I didn't think it had kind of like, it wasn't intellectual. It's just like, I don't know, I just didn't get it. I didn't like it. I would distance myself from anything related to the world business. And but yeah, when I kind of dug deeper into it a bit, I love, as I said, I love the idea of partnerships. And then with content marketing, I was like, the amount of research that's there, it could be highly intellectual. And as you mentioned, like the whole thing of like trying to convince people to buy stuff in this kind of like very aggressive way, it just didn't. I hated it. But then I found content marketing where like you can just educate people about stuff, and this is the way where we're not trying to kind of like force them to do stuff. So yeah. So this is an interesting one. I want you to think of someone you intensely dislike. Don't give me the name, just think of someone. Right?
Now this is a hard one.
Right. Did you think of someone?
No, honestly, I may have someone, but it doesn't come to mind because I have this belief that when you like focus on something negative, you're taking up space in your life where you could just put something positive instead. So there's no one person I can point out and like say I intensely dislike.
Okay. How about, okay, maybe someone from the not personal level, or like on the historical level, or like on the wider world level, like a celebrity that you don't kind of really, again, you don't, no need to mention the name.
Honestly, I cannot say. There's another thing is that when I look at people and I say, oh, this person is a bad person, somehow I kind of have empathy towards them also. Like our experiences make us who we are.
Right.
So sometimes people, even when they are bad people, are also victims and they deserve empathy. So.
Right. That's what we're going for. It's like after you think of someone, usually it's after you think of someone, I want you to think of all the positive things about them and try to convince me that they're a really good person.
Okay.
It seems that you are already doing this. So okay. How about this? Tell me, how can we play along these lines? Someone. Okay, tell me of any person you think of, and then how your mind changed about them from the moment you met or first encountered, then over the time. Instead, it's the same question as the what did you change your mind about, but in terms of specific people. How your relationship or your perception of that person developed over time?
So let me just speak about someone who's my mentor. When I first saw him online, I felt like he was unapproachable. Like, this guy is boxed up and he's not gonna say he's not gonna open up to you, he's not gonna but somehow when I started interacting with him, I found he's actually the most approachable person I found in content marketing. Like he's always there for you, whether you're a beginner, whether you're advanced. He's always willing to give time and to say to help you out in one way or the other. So, like sometimes impressions can be really misleading.
Have you shared this impression with them?
Yeah, I have. I told him. I said, I thought you were like really unapproachable, and here's what I find.
Did they get this a lot? Like that? Did anybody else tell them the same thing?
I don't think he shared that. I don't think he shared that. It just I think it came up to him as a surprise. So I think what happens is, we're online. We only go off based on maybe a picture, a photo of someone, or photos. So you look at the photo and you already have this unconscious bias.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so the next question. Sorry. The next question is: think of your ideal work partner. How are they similar and different to you?
Okay, let's talk about difference first. My ideal work partner is going to be someone who is action oriented. Like I have all the ideas, but sometimes taking action is like there's always a new shiny new thing to chase. There's always a new idea to so my ideal partner would be someone who would tell me to sit down and take one idea to the finish line before I move on to something else. And then similarities. I would love someone who is as open as I am. Like you don't have ideas that are set in stone. You're open to looking at new things. You're open to testing new things, which is kind of like tricky because it's the testing that takes you away from following through.
Yeah, I guess I'm in the same boat in terms of the action orientation versus. I think people who are drawn to data analytics and all of that stuff, they can be fall in this profile because as I said, you're very into data analytics. So I thought like, yeah, that makes sense. Like if that people who would gravitate towards this would need a partner who would gravitate towards action. But yeah. Alrighty. The next question is, if you had the chance to facilitate a conversation between any two people in the world, who would you choose? And what questions would you ask?
That's a good question.
Analysis.
One of the people I would choose is Elna Kane. And the reason is because, like me, she's a mom. And even though she's not everywhere, I know she's doing like really good, achieving really huge things. So I'm not that ambitious to go look at people like Jeff Bezos or I just want someone who's living a regular life. Yes, living a very fulfilled life. And that's Elma. She has little kids and she's a content marketer, a really good content marketer. And also a blogger. She has several blogs like me. Like she's the version of who I want to be. And the second person would be surprise, also a woman, Monica Lentz. She's she's uh she runs a SaaS product called Affiliates. And she has blogs of her own as well. So there's this balance. What I find is there's a balance between passive income streams that these ladies have and also a brand where they're doing something that's changing the world.
Right. So the first one is Ellen Kane. I got that.
Elna Kane. The second one is
Monica.
Lentz.
Monica Lent. Lens.
Lent.
Monica Lent. Okay. I will look them up.
So, like I said, there are lots of people, and if you look on my list, most of them are women.
Right. So what questions would you ask them both? Like, I want you to kind of set a conversation between them. So you're the facilitator between a conversation between Monica Lent and Alan Kane. What kind of questions would you ask them?
For Elna, I just want to know how she balances it all, like how she manages to do it all, and still she's always publishing new stuff and making new courses. How do you do it? On top of client work. And for Monica, I really want to create a SaaS product in the future. And I would really love to know how she got into SaaS.
Alrighty. So I think yeah, we're done with the questions that are the standard questions. Now we'll move to the questions that are specific for you. I actually mixed both questions together. Never mind. It's the important thing that I'm asking the questions. So yeah, what do you think of the expression, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics?
So when you send me that, I have to actually look it up because I've never heard of it before. But I can relate to that expression like really well. I mean, I've used statistics as lies before. Like you're trying to make a point so badly, and you just find something to like support what you're saying. There's bias that everyone has, and then everyone interprets things differently. Like you could see a stat and you could find like 3 ways to interpret it. And if the person who you're telling doesn't read the actual report, they believe you because they just skim through and they see the numbers you've shared with them is in the report. And then there's also context, like sometimes we take something, a statistics, it starts out of context and we try to use it to make a point in a very different context. And finally, the one that really bothers me is the reliability of stats. Some of the stats are gotten from a very small sample size, which makes it questionable. Some of them don't even like list how they carried out the research. And all these things, like, if you're not, that's why academic research is a lot more, what's the word? Should I say reliable? Like, you'd see the process of the study and how long it took and the background of the people involved. And like, there's everything you need to know there. Unlike with most stats we find in content marketing. So maybe I'm a SaaS business owner who sells sales intelligence tools. So I run a report based on the small sample I have of maybe 300 sales businesses and sales teams. And I take that research and I put it out there as facts. Well, that's just like a very small sample size compared to the rest of the world.
Right, and then there's the issue that I was always thinking of is that if there's a debate between like two positions, both positions can bring up stats to support the opinion. So like if I think apples are better than bananas, I can get my apple statistics, and if I think that bananas are better than apples, I can get my banana statistics.
Yeah.
So okay, so what is there a solution to this? Do you think there's a solution to this problem, or how should we as content marketers approach it?
Honestly, I've never thought of the solution, but I guess if there's more awareness of this problem, like, so I write for TEDx, and recently we started including the background of the respondents in our reports so that people can understand how this study was conducted. So if other businesses who publish stats can like start doing this, I think that would be like really awesome.
I was thinking now, we were talking, maybe there could be a kind of a collaboration between academic researchers and content marketing researchers. Even though academic research is not without its problems, like there's a replication crisis where like a huge chunk of studies cannot be replicated and all of that stuff. But it is more rigorous, probably more rigorous than content marketing. But I was wondering now, maybe if there could be some sort of collaboration between academic research and content marketing research.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
I think one of the major problems we have with research and content marketing is that we tend to have less time and probably less resources. So
right.
we cannot monitor. We can technically, but if you want to do it efficiently, it's not really wise to monitor a particular situation over a period of years and over a very large sample size to get more reliable data. So I think that's what the issue is. With academic research, there's collaboration between which is something that could actually make sense. Like if all businesses were to collaborate to prevent one reports, it increases the reliability of the data.
Right.
Because then we're not just looking at data from only one business and their sample of their clients. We're now looking at data from different businesses, different products.
Right. And I'm thinking, when I looked into, I was kind of reading about you. One of the things that you said is that you found that academic research boring. I was interested in that because one of the paths that I'm interested in is academic research, and I've been told before, like the Hashim, the place that you belong to is a university. So tell me about this, like tell me about your experience with academic research. Why did you find it boring? I know, let's tackle that.
I wouldn't say academic research in itself is boring. I feel like the presentation of it most times is boring. Like, yeah, it's the presentation.
Right, and I think this is one of the things that academic research, again, speaking of complementing each other, academic research can learn from content marketing. Content marketing, there's a strong emphasis on the content has to be engaging and interesting to the person. So if an academic can teach a content marketing how to make rigorous research, the research more rigorous, and the content marketing can teach the academic of how to make the content more appealing to the people and enjoyable. So yeah, we found one partnership here out of this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question. Tell me about a data item that you discovered that led to you changing your actions or behaviors.
I'm sorry, you said?
Tell me about a data item that you discovered that led to you changing your actions or behavior.
Okay. Let me approach this from parenting. So I come from Africa, where we have certain parenting standards that are passed down about to viewers. So when I had my first child, I did a lot of research and I wanted to know the effects of these methods of parenting. And I'm not going to really go into details here, but all that research brought me to the point where I chose to become what is called an attachment parent. So it's like you having a secure attachment, a secure bond with your child fosters this feeling of security in them, and they want to explore more because they know they always have a safe place to return to. They know they can make mistakes because you will still be there for them, and you're not going to judge them for it. You're going to guide them, but you're not going to judge them. So all that research led to me becoming an attachment parent, and I love it.
That is very interesting. I love that. Yeah, I don't have children, but my brothers have children, and there's always this kind of the people wondering what kind of parenting style would work with their children. So I love that. So speaking of that, is there something in the books that you read in the books, but once you started to like implement, it didn't work?
Doesn't it happen all the time? does it ever go like the books say? I think that books are more like guides. Like everything we read, everything we write, they're more like guides where this is a starting point. You take this and you start and you begin to test and improve based on what your unique experience is. So yeah, definitely all the time.
So you have 4 children, correct?
Yes, I have 4 children.
How old are they?
So the eldest is 13. No, she's gonna be 14 next month, so I don't know. 14. And I have one who is 6 going on 7, and one who is 4 going on 5, and one who is almost 2. She's gonna be 2 in a few days' time.
Okay, okay. So who among them is most likely to become a content marketer?
I have no idea.
What if you want to take a guess, like a wild guess?
Um, so they've all shown interest in content marketing, not content marketing, like they've all shown interest in digital marketing. Yesterday, my son was working on the computer and his elder sister was like, "What are you doing?" He said he's working to raise money. And she says, what, how are you going to raise money by typing in Microsoft Word? And he says, that's what mom does. so they've all shown interest in a career in a computer related career. So it's not like specific to content marketing, but like they're all really interested in what is this that mommy does on the computer that gives her money. So
yeah. So let's take adults in your but let's move to adults then. Either you personally know or like from the online. Who is someone who is not a content marketer but you think would make a really good content marketer?
is this in my personal network?
Whatever, either personal network or not.
So do bloggers fall under content marketers? I just want to confirm that.
Say that again.
I said, do bloggers do they fall under content marketing? Because there's this really good. She's not like a blogger as a niche site kind of blogger. She's more like a share your thoughts kind of blogger. And I think she'll make an awesome content marketer.
Right. Right. This is interesting that you mentioned the share your thoughts type of marketer versus blogger versus niche blogger. Do you think if someone wants to transition from being someone who just shared their thoughts to someone who is a niche blogger, should they have the same website and have the two categories in it, or should they create separate websites and separate blogs?
It depends on how far gone they are with the original idea, and it also depends on how often they'll keep publishing just thoughts. So dead pages can really weigh down SEO on the site, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if all of what you've previously put out, what you want to continue putting out, is not really going to be SEO optimized, and it's probably going to do harm. Like just start a different site.
Okay, right. And then would you migrate the content that you've already created to the new site?
No, I would say the content is the issue. Like, if the content has great engagement, I think it's fine. It's if you're writing about something that no one cares about, then it's going to affect the new stuff that you publish, because people would say no one cares about this website. It probably means they're not publishing good content.
Right.
Google is not smart enough to know that this is just maybe your personal, let's just call it a personal journal, a public journal, instead of a blog. Yeah.
Right. So tell me how, I'm interested in the names of blogs. How did you come up with the names of your blogs? What's your process?
So the first one, I was less experienced because I wanted something that more than anything else shared the vision behind the blog. So my first current living blog is called Finding Balance Mom. So I just wanted this idea that women, mothers could have everything they wanted. Like you can have it all. You can have a balanced life as a mother and a career woman. And that's how I chose the name. For subsequent ones, I would say that the first one is like my baby. I started writing the posts for them myself. There was a lot of passion in that. So that was like a passion project that just blossomed into something else. The subsequent ones, I have not written a single article on them. Like they're just there for the money. So what I do is I find niche keywords, and merge names to form the blog name using keywords.
Right. So you mean you do keyword research for the name of the blog?
Yeah, I'm not really like, so it's a niche site.
Right.
And there's a general idea behind it.
Right.
So let's say, assuming it's in personal finance, you know that it's all about money. So it could be something money pairs with another word.
Right.
I have one that is in the pregnancy and new motherhood niche. And there's mom and baby in the name of the blog.
Okay, so let me see what we have here. Okay, tell me about a data item that you've discovered that made you either sad or happy.
Can we come back to this while I'm still thinking of something?
Sure, sure. Okay, this is really out there. Do you know like grapefruits? Have you ever thought, this is something I'm wondering about, why is it called grapefruit if it doesn't taste like grape?
I've never thought about it. Like, I'm pretty sure I tend to analyze things, but I don't eat a lot of grapefruits, so maybe that's why I've not really thought about it.
Okay, so I actually don't know the answer to this. Let me do a quick research and a quick kind of search and see why is it called grapefruit? Okay, why is grapefruit called grapefruit? The grapefruit was originally called the forbidden fruit. Jamaicans coined the term grapefruit because the fruit grew in bunches like grapes. Ah, okay. Because it looks in the appearance like grapes, not because of the taste. That makes sense. Okay, so that's a mystery revealed. Okay.
That's really awesome to have learned that now.
Right. Okay. I think let me think. Just give me a sec. I want to go to the hidden question bank. Okay. Okay. Tell me the strangest thing you did. I can't. Tell me the strangest thing you did. Lily, you're on mute.
The strangest thing I did?
Yeah.
Oh. What the strangest thing I did? I'm still thinking.
Take your time. Take your time.
I don't know if it's like that strange. I've always been more practical, kind of. Okay, so where I come from, a lot of people will think it was strange that I decided to ditch a regular career and go into online marketing because it's more it's new. Lots of people don't know that. But there was this time when I traveled several states away. I was 19 at the time, and I wanted to participate in the X Factor, the singing show, and so I traveled several miles across several states.
Yeah.
Without even knowing anybody there, without looking for a place to stay. And I up and left. And when I look back, I'm like, God, are you crazy? Anything could have happened to you.
Right. And you sing. This is something that I was kind of
I kind of like used to sing. Let me say used to, because I don't have the good voice anymore.
Why don't you have the good voice anymore? Like I checked you on YouTube. You have a song on YouTube, and your voice is really good.
I think it's old.
Yeah, it's like 2015 or something.
Yeah, so a lot has changed. You know, you need to keep on like using your vocal cords. It's not like I don't have a good voice anymore. It's just it's not trained. It would need like extensive training to revive it.
Okay. Yeah. How about wouldn't it be nice if you did a song about content marketing?
No, it wouldn't be.
About data analytics and your song. I would so listen to a song about data analytics. Okay, so tell me, what is the task that gives you the strongest psychological resistance? Like you feel like whenever you have to do this task, like, oh no, please no, I don't want to do it.
Okay, I really don't like scheduled calls.
The what?
I really don't like scheduled video calls. Like I love meeting people, but I love doing it spontaneously. Like
right.
I always have to really push myself to get on to schedule a meeting and to like get on a call. I prefer to work asynchronously, and I love meeting people. I love having calls, but right. I love doing it in the moment.
Right. So this is you're outside of your comfort zone right now.
Yeah, kind of.
Right. It's interesting you said that because I like meeting people and talking to people, and I like video calls. But there's something with the phone. Like if I'm on the phone and talking to you, I feel it's awkward. I don't know why. Like the phone itself, I just find it a very weird, not weird, just strange experience, or weird. I don't know. It's just, sometimes it feels awkward to me. The phone.
I would say all conversations that are scheduled feel that way to me. Like I just love spontaneous conversations instead of having to like schedule them. And so whether it's phone or a chat, or as long as it's scheduled,
Right. Got it. Yeah. Let's talk about games. In one of your stories, you're talking about how your interest, your career kind of like grew out of in your childhood. There were certain games that you did, you played, that kind of like aligned with your interests later on. So I have the reverse question, which is: are there any games that you don't like to play?
So I haven't really played games in a long while because, well, I'm so I don't like play a lot of games right now.
Don't you play games with your children?
Okay, like physical games.
Whatever kind of games, sports games, board games.
It's probably a game that I don't like. I mean, if I don't like it, I wouldn't be playing it in the first place.
Right. How about chess? You like chess?
Chess. I love chess, but I've never learned to like be awesome at chess. Chess, sorry.
Cool. The reason I'm asking because I don't like chess, but I'm interested in content strategy. So I was thinking like, how is chess different from content strategy, and how I'm just very interested in how games, the type of games you play, or you like, reflect on the type of skills that you like in your career.
So there's some games actually, but they're more like local to Nigeria. There's one we call Ludo. That's Ludo. It's not chess, but it's like similar strategy. I'll say it's more like drafts.
Right.
I love chess. It's just I've never met a player who's on a similar level to actually improve.
Right.
It's
Right.
either they're a complete beginner or they're too advanced to enjoy playing with me.
Right. Yeah, tell me about content strategy versus writing. When do you feel you have do you have a not preference, but do you feel like sometimes you like to do some more writing than strategy, or vice versa, or how do they kind of like get meshed together for you?
I actually prefer strategy to writing because I love analyzing things and testing things.
Right.
And research. I do love to write, but also I love there are certain types of writing that I love to do more than others. Like I love doing tear downs, which ties into my passion for analyzing things and researching things. I love doing marketing strategy tear downs for businesses and just writing types that are not boxed in the way that I need to approach them. Like freedom.
Right. So how is content strategy and writing for your own business different from doing writing content, different and similar to doing content strategy and writing for other companies?
So what you mean here? You care to clarify?
Sure. So you did, you worked as a content marketer for other companies, right? Like Animals, Databox, and all of that stuff. But you also did your the same, you use the same techniques or the same knowledge to build your own blog, right? So how was the experience different when you were the business owner versus when you were doing it for someone else?
It's kind of different because when it's your business, you have more control over what you can do, and you have more time So you're not prioritizing things that you can do as quickly as possible. You're prioritizing things that you can test over a longer period of time that give the highest promise. So like you have more time to test things. So
Right.
it's a lot more free and to create strategy for your own logs. You're not boxed in within what you can or cannot do.
Right. Okay, so I think we're done for my questions. Now you get to ask me a question.
Okay. Great. So I think my question would be, who would you asked me who I would like to meet. Two people I would like to meet. I would like to know who you would like to meet if you were given the opportunity to sit down and talk.
Sure. So I'm thinking in terms of fields. So I would like to set up a conversation between somebody in the search engine field and somebody from the psychology field. So what I'm, one of my kind of big interest is how can we learn about people's psychology through the search words and keywords that they enter in Google or another, whatever browser they're using. So there was a book about, it's called Search Listening. The book is called Everyone Lies by Seth Davidowitz. So I'm interested in this field. So I would pick somebody from, let's say from the search engine. I have one person in mind called Tara Kalishan. I'm gonna Tara Kalishan. This is the search engine part, and I love the way she. I mean, I'm interested in talking about on search engines and all of that stuff, but I just love her personality. How kind of goofy she can be. How kind of I don't know. I just love her her humor and all of that stuff. And for the psychology bit, let me think. Who would be a good person to have? Yes, okay. I have one person in mind. The guy who behind. Let me. It's. Give me a second. The guy who did linguistic inquiry and word count, who is James W. Pennebaker. So he's a psychologist who is in the field of psycholinguistics. So basically, how the things that would fall under this is what kind of if you have, like, let's say a book that you've written or a speech that you wrote, based on the number of pronouns that you use or how you use words, the idea is that you can analyze someone's personality based on that. So I would get them both together and I would ask a question like, okay, how can we create a process where we can learn more about people's personality through their search history? That's my question.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I see how passionate you're about psychology and content marketing, and then thinking how wonderful it would be if like these two things merge for you.
Right.
Is there something you're working towards to merge them?
I am thinking of, I think in a part of my life where, like, I want to synthesize all my kind of more than one interest together. So one of the ideas actually that I had is for this podcast, how can we analyze people's personalities or people based on the words that they use in the episode. So let's say now, after we're done with this podcast, there will be a transcript of the things I said and things you said. I was wondering if there's like a way to kind of like analyze our speech or interaction, and then see if there's any insights about which questions, what kind of question formulation would lead to better answers and or better insights and all of that stuff. So again, combining the issue of academic versus marketing research, I'm thinking of doing a master's in topics related to the psychology of creativity, psychology of innovation, psychology of linguistics, that would act as the theoretical bedrock for this podcast, where I would analyze, they would go, both of them would go together. Like after I finish this episode, I would go to and analyze it, and then the books and the academic books would kind of tell me which questions to ask, and back and forth. So yeah, that's a bit of one.
That's fascinating, honestly.
Yeah. So Lily, thank you very, very much for talking with me. It was great to talk to you, and I hope we'll be keep in touch.
Thanks again for inviting me.
And yeah, I'm gonna stop it now. I'll stop recording.